Well, hello and welcome everybody to tonight's final Third Thursday. This is our last Third Thursday of the year because next month we're going to be getting ready for our convention. So we'll be focused on our final preparations for that. I'm pleased tonight to be able to introduce my friend and mentor, Janet Rogers, FWS. And for those of you who don't know Janet, or maybe don't know enough about Janet, she's been a working professional artist for over 40 years. She's achieved signature status in the American Watercolor Society, the Transparent Watercolor Society, our Watercolor Society here in Florida, South Carolina Watercolor Society, and others. She's garnered many awards over the years for her sensitive paintings of people that are spontaneous, direct, and expressive. Janet easily shares with others her passion and joy for fluid and unexpected nature of watercolor, and I think you'll see that when you see her paint. She does a lot of workshops and demonstrations. They're part of her super busy schedule. I don't know how she and Steve do it every year, but some of her favorite topics are impressions of people and also flowers, although I've seen her do landscapes with figures in them. And she does that across the United States, Canada, and Europe. I've traveled with you, I think, 3 times now to Europe, and it's been a delight every time. And also, for those who don't know, she also has loads of painting videos that are available through Cheap Joe's on DVD. You can find her on YouTube and on her website, watercolorsbyrogers.com. Janet, I think we've known each other for about 20 years now, so I'm so honored to have you here, and thank you for doing this for us.
Thanks, Jackie.
And we'll turn it over to you now.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody, and I'm going to put it on my, to try to save time, I'll put it on my painting. Let's see, 1. There we go.
There you are.
Is that good?
Yep.
And I know, hopefully you can see me from time to time, but I'd like to do a portrait of a young girl today. And there's the photo of the girl that I'm going to do, which is my granddaughter, great-granddaughter, and Sophia. She's my great-granddaughter. Anyway, so this gives you a little idea of the drawing. I'm just going to look at, here's the original drawing that I did of her. Now, I did it in a sketchbook because you can see how I ripped it out. Anyway, my process, I just wanted to explain my process of drawing. I just practice freehand drawing, sketch it out, and then I trace it either on a window or in a light box, put 140-pound Arches cold press paper on top of it. Like I just put it under there, and then I can see through it. And I use the wrong side of the 140-pound Arches cold press. The wrong side meaning the side that doesn't have the watermark on it. It's the opposite side. And you'll find that it's a little bit rougher to work with. So that's the reason. And then I have to redraw it because it doesn't trace everything I want to, and I want to get the feeling of the person that I'm doing. So what I'm going to do at this point is just lift the graphite off. I have a kneaded eraser. I use a number 2 pencil to sketch. When I sketch this, the drawings that I do, I sketch them. I use a 6B pencil or an ebony pencil. Just it gives me a little more freedom. And I paint a little bit of an angle here. You can see it's just a little bit of an angle on the zoom. Normally I paint a little bit up a little bit, so it's angled more. But let me just, what I'm doing is trying to lift some of the graphite off of the paper so that I don't have, when I trace, by the way, you don't need to trace all the shadow part. All you do is I do a little bit of that just to get a little bit more of a, so I can tell what's going on. That's why I put the shadows in. Okay, so a little bit about the colors I'm going to use today. And you can see there are two triads that I use. And one is, triad 1 is a lighter value triad, which includes Cerulean, Permanent Rose, and Cobalt Blue. Now, each of these, I have little arrows. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but Cerulean and Permanent Rose make orange. Cerulean and Blue make green. And the Permanent Rose and Cobalt Blue make purple or lavender. So these are the secondary colors. This is the primary: Cerulean yellow, Permanent Rose, and Cobalt Blue. A second, my second triad that I use all the time is Quinacridine Gold, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, and Ultramarine Blue. I should explain too who I buy the paints from. Cerulean, now you're going to have to probably get either American Journey, which is a mixture, but it's called Cerulean, or Daniel Smith makes a transparent Cerulean yellow. Winsor Newton no longer makes that. Permanent Rose, I like American Journey, and Cobalt Blue, I like American Journey. Secondary, the second triad is Quinacridine Gold, Winsor Newton, although now I've changed it to Holbein. But I heard that they no longer make Quinacridine Gold, so I have to find something comparable. But notice all of these are transparent. Permanent Alizarin Crimson is by Holbein. It's a little bit darker, but it's transparent. And then Ultramarine Blue is American Journey. And out of those primaries, I make secondary colors. Quinacridine Gold and Permanent Alizarin Crimson make the orange, dark orange. The Permanent Alizarin Crimson and Ultramarine Blue make the purple, darker purple than this one. And then the Ultramarine Blue and Quinacridine Gold make a dark green, which I use a lot in florals. So I just wanted you to know what I use, the paints, and then plus I don't even have these on here, but I have them on my palettes and I use them all the time. As far as the warm colors, I use Janet's Violet Rose, which is the best color ever made. Not saying in it, you know, it's just Janet's Violet Rose. It's by American Journey. It was built on the premise from Sennelier's Cobalt Violet Light Hue. So it's you can see it on my palette here. It's kind of a lavender color, but it's entirely permanent. And it's not completely transparent, but if you use enough water, it'll be transparent. So I use it to cool the flesh down. And Cerulean Blue Hue by American Journey. That is, let me show you here. This is the color. So it's very nice. It's my get out of jail free color. So they are in addition to these 6 colors that you will need. So I just wanted you to know that ahead of time. So in case anybody wants to try that, but these are my main colors and all the secondary colors. So I already have them out of my palettes and we will go. I will try to mention it as I move along here. Okay, I tried a little I pre-wet or did a little flesh tone earlier in the day because I thought I would be faster, but I'm not sure that helps. I think I better just do it like I normally do and figure it out. And first, I'm going to start with, I'm going to try my brushes. Okay, my brushes, you'll have to know that. These are round brushes that I use. I find the American Journey interlock nylon rounds are the best. 14 and I'm using 14 and a 12. So they're the round ones. But I like a bouncy brush. I don't like the real soft, expensive brushes. These are reasonable, not expensive, and they can be found at Cheap Joe's. And these are some other brushes that I have, a flat, and I have some other flats if I need it. But they're King Art Wash 9550, and then an ultra round or a max round. It is 902012. It's a size 12. They're very pointy. I just want you to see the difference between that and the round ones. Okay, let me wet it so you can see you on camera. The difference. One has, the round ones are, I use the side of the brush, the front side or the top side, but not the point. The point is more rounded. You can tell. And then the pointy brushes are the max round or ultra round, and they're very pointy. So I don't use these for flesh tone. Please don't use them for flesh tone because they hold pigment on the point, and that's not good. So I'm going to start with the 14 round for the first part. So let me see. Now I want to leave some white paper. So my plan is to leave some whites around here and the nose and a little bit on the forehead. And the let's do a kind of a marking here on the mouth because that's going to be important. The nose is going to be important, very light. I'm going to take a white pencil and find the highlight in the eye because the highlight in the eye is very small and it's up underneath. So it's a little tricky. Okay, now, if you ever need to erase, please erase before you paint. So that, or, I'm just using a little bit of the kneaded eraser, just lifting some of that graphite off so I don't have a lot of mud. But don't ever erase when the painting is wet. It'll make instant mud and it won't come out. So, I mean, if you do it once, you'll learn. So it's nasty stuff. So that's just a warning. Let me get in here. I don't know whether you can see the whole palette. There we go. You can see it. And I will try to get closer, but for the beginning, I want to use the first, the flesh tone. I want to get a base in there. And then Wherever I don't paint, I want it to be my lights. Usually I paint with the light coming from this direction, so this all would be in shadow, but I'm going to have to change it around a little bit. I'm going to make some loading zone puddles out here in my palette. I've gone to these trays. They were Jasper trays, but I fear they don't make them anymore. That's helpful. You can get them at, you can get a plain tray at a dollar store or someplace like that. Let's just go in and start.
And Janet, what sort of angle are you painting at right now?
It's about like it's up about 3 inches.
Okay. Because I know people want to know that.
Yeah. I'm putting in a little bit of the violet rose over top of it. I usually do swatches, and anybody that's painted with me knows how important they are. Okay. I'm putting Janet's violet rose over that orange that I made with a little more of the, it's got a little more of, yellow, sorry. I just put a little blue in there, the cerulean blue hue. Putting it over there in the shadow side of the face a little bit. I'm dropping it in. And I'm not sure, I think it's a little strong, so let's put a little, I'm adjusting this. It looks a little strong on the screen, so let's put that down. I'm gonna go do the nose here. Pull that down. I think I'll do this side of the face. I'm gonna press down on this. So when I'm delivering the pigment to the paper, I'm gonna pay attention to hard and soft edges. Let's put a little bit more strength in there. This is so critical to get the flesh tone in. What I like is a spontaneous look. The reason I change colors is for movement. That down here. Put a little more color in. Oops. You'll notice I have a paper towel in my hand all the time. I'm going right through, making that more of a shape. So it's important to get that shape in there. I'm softening that edge around the nose because that is important. Okay, I'm trying to think if I need some blue. I think I do. Now, most of the time I tell everybody don't go back in. I'm doing it a little bit. I'm not sure that it's the right thing to do. I think I might get in trouble, so maybe I better get out of there. Yeah, I don't want blue around the mouth. Let's overwhelm that with the purple. So what I'm doing basically is putting that flesh tone in. Let's put that shadow in here. Bring that shadow down. There's a hard shadow right under her chin. I'm going to soften it so it doesn't appear to be monotonous. Change the shape of that. Sometimes the shadows pull out, they get diffused. So now I have this side of the face to work with. It's a little stronger, that color. It looks kind of pinky, but we can go over that later with a second wash. Now I'm putting a little bit of, I see shadow under her eye, but I don't want it to be too noticeable. Let me soften that and put the cheek color down here. A little bit of pink because she's still young, and I want to just soften that. Now you get a feeling of light coming from that edge, and I don't want to get into this at all, this edge, this what I just did. I really don't want to get in there. Let me soften that a little bit. I can come back if I need to. Let me adjust that little shape right now. And then I'll come back and do a little bit more shadow as it gets drier. Okay. Let's try to do the eyes right now. Or maybe I'll do a little bit of the nostril. So I'm taking a little bit of, oh, wait a minute. Can't see me. Can't see. Okay. That alizarin crimson. And I'm taking the moisture off. So I'm using a pointy brush now. Take a little bit of the lavender. I want to get, so it's very dry. You can tell by when I touch a paper towel, it takes the moisture off. I don't want it too dark, so I'm drying the whole thing. And then I'm going to pull the edge of that. Dry it. I think I have that too. Yeah, I don't want her to have a bloody nose. Okay. I think I better just dry it with my towel. Okay. Come back to it because I don't think it was too wet. Let's see if we can get her mouth. She has a very expressive mouth. Now with the lips, make sure that you don't have it straight across. Obviously, it's two lips together. Top lip comes down, usually a little darker. I'm going to skip and then put squinting is a big help. Okay. I'm going to try to get some of the mouth in without disrupting that wash I have, the face wash. I don't want it to get in there. Okay, trying to paint the two lips together. The top lip is casting a little shadow over the bottom lip. I think that's probably all I'll do right now. I think timing is so critical with watercolor. Okay. Because of Zoom, I have to have that angle down flatter than I usually will, but there's an advantage to that. Let's take a little of that cerulean blue hue, and that's going to make that eye look very strong, very blue. She has kind of greenish eyes, so maybe I'll take a little more yellow, but they're light. and they don't look it in the picture. So I have to, let me see if I can, oh, that's too dark. But that looks about right. So I'm going to just lift that a little bit because there's light coming in there. I want to make them more transparent. So, okay. That's probably enough. And now I'm going to do one eye at a time. This is the ultramarine and alizarin, the dark purple, and the dark green. Mixing the dark green and the dark purple together that's all three. That makes like kind of a black. And you take off the excess water and drop in the pupil. And then try to connect that pupil to the top lid. Okay. Now, sometimes people have a little extra dark around their eyes, their iris. And I don't want to encircle it. I never want to encircle anything. So it's all a matter of when it gets too wet, paper towels, just throw them away. Brown. I need something to, the advantage to limiting your palette is that you can make a roux, meaning something that will be neutral. So the colors it doesn't matter so much as just a neutral color. Say, maybe I can get this lavender here. So. Okay. I want to do one eye at a time, but then I can go over to the other one.
Janet, is this the half sheet that you're on?
Yes.
Someone is asking. Okay.
Yes, it's a half sheet.
I told her I thought that's what it was.
Yeah. I'm pulling that over here just a little bit to get that cheek coming out, but it's just color. So if you squint at your picture, you will see all the darks and lights. I think I want some yellow over here. Because I want to catch some light. So the biggest thing about a painting of someone, if you want to do commission work and you have to make it look like somebody, then I think you need to project it. And because otherwise you're going to spend, now it depends. It depends on your client. If the client says, I don't care, just do your own thing, and I will do my own thing. I'm putting a little blue up there. I don't know. Just trying to push it back, but that I probably shouldn't be in that thing at all. I'm trying to play around and do some other things with the brush work. Okay, I'll go over here to do this one. My hand slipped a little bit. It's okay. I'm trying to do, I don't want that too how can I put it? Too tight. So I want to lift that a little bit. I want it more impressionistic if I can. I'm a portrait painter, so from way back, so that I probably am a little too tight anyway, but trying to loosen up. Okay, let's put a little, oh, I keep doing that. You have to be careful. Really, the best thing is to let this all dry, but I like it the way it is, so I'm going to try to do other things. I'm putting a little color down at the bottom of the nose. Okay. I like that orange on the bottom of the nose, you know. I noticed Charles Reed did it, so it always makes me happy. I'm going to put a little shadow there. Okay, now I'm going to go back to that eye. Before I go, you know, I probably should finish it. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little wonky, but I like wonky. I like things that are not perfect. Okay, that looks, I kind of paint and draw till I get a feeling of something. That's just my way, I guess. How about some hair color? I'll move into the hair so that maybe this will dry. Oh, one thing I forgot was her ear. I'm sorry, I forgot her ear. Let's do that. Just put color in there. Okay. A little bit of pink, maybe. Just an illusion. Just now I'm going to put hair color in there too. Don't forget, I'm going to come in with that second application in here, but you can't go back in there when the paint is drying on the paper. So let's do what else we can while that's drying. How about, I want to make a roux of hair color. So I'm doing it up here. She has kind of blonde hair, but it's a little dirty blonde. So let's go over here. Put that color in there. And then as the hair is coming around the head, notice my brush, I'm using this side of the brush, kind of smush it a little bit. Soften that. I think I will drop into that a little blue or maybe lavender. Doesn't matter. It's a value that kind of pushes it down. I'm trying to think. I see this reflected light over here. It's actually lighter than the other. It's coming over here, but maybe we could make it blue. That's a little too strong. How about cobalt? Try a cobalt. That's too strong too. So I'm going to lift it out. Just have a little bit of it. Okay. Now you don't want the hair to look like it's a wig, so you have to watch the edges. I think I'm going to get in trouble because of the wetness, but that's okay. So you have to watch everything you're doing, really. It came down like that. She has kind of a wispy hairdo coming across. So you want to follow the, oops, sorry. I had something on my brush. Look that out. Get a flat brush. I have a little flat brush that I use. Let me go into that. Oh. And then I'm lifting out the strands of hair with that. Take it. I'm making a neutral roux here. There we go. It's dark. Okay. Now on this part of her hair, it's going back. So I'm going back, following the hair. Now you don't want to put all of the hairs in there. If you find yourself going like painting down this way, try to go sideways. I notice that's a big deal. I'm just trying to make a color. Okay, I'm following the shadows more than anything. It looks too fake. Okay. Going in, getting the strokes. Let's do that. This is a little drier brush. So you want to keep the hair like a mass, not a mess, a mass. Right. I've often said to people in the past, oh, don't ever use the paper towels. But since then, I have learned that that's the way to do it. So now I use towels or whatever. I'm just smushing that edge because I don't want it to be real hard. And I want to go into the background. I'm not sure what kind of background yet. Let's smush again. Smush to white, like you've heard fade to black. Well, we're fading to white. Let's pull that out. Gives it a little bit of highlight. So it depends on how wet the paint is. Okay. Looks like I need some dark somewhere. Okay. Look to me like she has a blue bow back here. I think that would be nice to put in there. It gives her that, what I want to capture in this painting is a feeling of innocence. She's a young girl, and I want to catch that. She's very sweet. Okay, maybe still a little wet. but sometimes I can get in there. So you notice I'm bouncing around, not completing the hair, but bouncing around there a little bit. How about we'll take a little bit of, I want to get some of that blonde hair that she has. Maybe I'm taking an edge and pulling it. Maybe a little yellow. Okay, I'm going to lift that out. So painting with paper towel can be fun. Now, with hair, sometimes you have light and then sometimes it goes to dark. So we follow the shadows on your painting, on your photo. There's a dark under the ear. It's going to be a hard edge. So you want, wherever you want your eye to look, you want to get that dark. I'm putting a little bit up here. It's going to be too big of a mark. Okay, as it gets close to her neck, and I think there's a little bit of a curve in here. I have a lot of drawings, things. One thing I want to mention is that for exercises, it's good to draw all the time. I love drawing, and I'm hoping you do too. Drawing takes you on journeys that it's very fun. Anyway, I'm going to get that little pushback on her neck from her ear down, because I see that here as a shadow. I'm going to soften that edge. Okay. Anyway, the things I do are blind contour, blind cross contour, and gesture. To me, gesture is very critical as far as the painting goes. I'm going to smush that a little bit because I don't like it just plain the way it was. Too much of a, I know it's a little, maybe I'll have to get rid of that white. I'll do that later. Okay, let's go back to the hair. I think there are little curls coming around her face, make her look innocent too, old-fashioned or something like that. But with Sophia, she has those natural curls. I don't want them all to be the same, so I have to be careful. I have a tendency to make everything even or something, and don't do that. I just happen to try something sometimes, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but sometimes it does. You don't have to copy. That's the important part. try to look at your painting. Moving that down a little bit. Okay, that little curl there, I think that helped. Now, I couldn't figure out from this whether that was a piece of hair, which she does have, but I thought maybe it's a shadow, and it is a shadow from this piece of hair that's coming across. Okay, I think I'm going to darken this again because I thought that was a pretty important part. Okay. Now, let's look at what we have for the face. Let me see if that's, maybe I can get in there. I have a hair dryer. I could shut this off for 1 second, but, or can you mute me? I'm not sure. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. Just for a second, and then I'll just make sure this is dry. You know what I should have done is gotten closer. Maybe I can do that now. You probably are used to me doing, maybe if I got closer, zooming in. I forgot.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to try to get a little more detail in the eyes. You want to make sure that the white of the eyes are gone, but I want to make sure to get her mouth. But let me go back to the flesh tone before I do that. I'm going to get my paper towels, dry paper towels ready. A little that pink. Now that looks so strong, but when I do it, you know, let me see if I can. Yeah, maybe it's a little too strong. Gives her just a little bit of blush on her cheeks. Okay, let's go under, let's try a little lavender under the, for that shadow. It's a little stronger right there. Maybe we'll put a little warmth orange in there. Because it is flesh tone. Maybe let's soften that. I don't want your eye to follow, like in the photograph, that shadow too much. Maybe I can get a little bit of the cool in here. It's a little late for that, but it's better to drop it in and drop in those cools when the paint is wet. Like here, if I wanted to drop in a cool. But then I just take the brush and pull it. So that's a little stronger. Okay. I'm taking this little round brush, and this, I haven't used this that much, but it's better. It's a 7,000 round or a 9,000 round if it's a round brush anyway. There, that almost says it. It's a little bit of a shadow. And I'm going to go to the pointy brush. I don't know why this is not working right. My brush, sometimes they don't work as well. Okay, let's details. Little red in that eye. Okay, little red in the nose, nostril. A little more, and this is the final touches, and then I have to go down to the arms. I want to make sure that that comes up more at the end of the mouth. There's usually it goes down, but then it comes back up. Now I want to make sure that that shadow under the bottom lip comes out. Or is distinct underneath the bottom of that bottom lip here. Now that's another harsh shadow, like down in here. It's sharp, but I don't want it to be that important. Be careful not to make a dark line right around her. You know, like I don't know how to explain
like an outline you don't want.
An outline. Yeah, thank you. I was searching for a word, Jackie, so thank you.
I had to jump in and help you.
Thank you. Okay. So it's all about value. So it's important to look at your picture as much as you can. Soften edges when it comes to a, you know, you don't want a hard edge where you don't want a hard edge. That's profound. Okay. Maybe something will just work. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for magic in the painting, and sometimes you have to be aware of it. So that's why you have to look at your painting a lot. Okay. Okay, there's a little bit of a shadow there because her top lip is casting a shadow. I think it's from that that light, that strong light there. Okay. I think I'm going to put the arms in and the clothing, and then we'll go from there. I don't know what all this is. It must have been a mistake. I didn't see that happen.
It looks okay.
Okay.
So I want to let you know you're almost at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And somebody is asking, can you ask Janet about the shadow on the right side of the nose is not there?
Oh, here.
She just hasn't gotten to it yet.
Well, it takes, people looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Oops, sorry. That was not good. Now I want a little bit of an eyebrow here. Okay. Maybe a little more. And there's a shadow over here. I wanted it more blue, but let's see if I can. I don't want it to jump out too much. Let's see if we can. Oh, now that was a mistake, but I'm going to remain calm. Don't panic. So I'm going to get it out by overwhelming it and then lifting.
So what did you overwhelm it with? Was it a brown, kind of a palette color?
Yeah, kind of a violet.
It actually looks pretty good now.
Now it looks better.
Yeah.
So sometimes by mistakes, things happen to help you. Now on the bottom, remember there aren't too many eyelashes on the bottom. I think we'll put a little bit of violet over that eye. Let's see, well, that's copy. I mean, that's kind of putting what's in the picture. That shadow, maybe we have to put a little more shadow over here. Shadow meaning flesh tone, right? I don't want that to be too important, so I'm going to break that up a little bit. See. Let's put the flesh tone down below. A little bit on the arms. That's enough. Okay, how about some violet on the clothes? Little blue.
Okay, somebody's asking, said she's new to watercolor and she's absolutely mesmerized. What a great instructor, and she loves the piece. I guess it's not a question, but a statement. So that's nice.
Well, that's nice. And I hope you continue in watercolor. It's the best.
And if you ever get a chance, take a workshop with Janet. I know you said you have one coming up at Dillman's.
Yes.
In 3 weeks. Steve has one coming up at Tampa Regional Artists,
right.
Which you can look up online. And you're going to be demoing at the Cheap Joe's booth at our Florida Watercolor Society convention.
Right.
So I know
Right.
everybody will want to see you there.
Yeah.
And also, you have a wonderful workshop coming up in France in October, and I'm
Yes.
so sad I won't join you this time. Won't be joining you this time, but you said you have some spots open for anybody who might be interested. Go if you
I
can.
do. Yes,
It's
I would.
absolutely glorious.
That what?
I said it's absolutely glorious there, and
Oh,
there's a studio there where you do some inside work, and then you also paint on location. So
right.
you get the best of Janet and Steve for what was it, a week or 10 days? It's
Well,
fabulous.
it's 7 days. There's 2 sessions. October
Okay.
6th. No, wait a minute. October 8th through the 15th, and October 16th through the 23rd. So there's
Gotcha.
2 different sessions. Of course, you can take all of it if you want to. I mean, you can.
People have done that.
Yep. Yep. Which is really fun. I'm trying to see if I can add a little more to that, but I mean, I could keep painting. That's trying to think. Also, I have a lot of workshops coming up. That's
great.
trying to see that shadow. I'm looking at that shadow again. It's coming over. I do a lot of workshops in Florida the first of the year, usually.
Sandy Mezzini's is saying that she loves your demo, Janet, and it's very masterful, and she's remembering your marathon workshop.
Oh, yes, I've loved it. I love that.
And then Kim Shields has commented, no matter how many times he watches you paint, he's in awe.
He's so sweet. Thank you. And I feel the same way about watching all of you on, Facebook posting your paintings. Let me go out a little bit. Okay. Now I can, let's see, what time is it? Oh, I'm done almost.
Well,
Almost,
yeah.
pretty
Show
much.
us what you would do for the background, maybe a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm looking at palette color. What color would I do? I could try purple, lavender. I don't know whether that would work. Maybe I would need a little more blue in it.
That's pretty.
Let's see, that's the green, but I think the purple is better. Maybe let's smush that around a little bit. You know, it used to bother me so much to even think about a background, because I thought, what does that mean? But then I thought, well, it's just shapes around shapes.
Right.
And then I wasn't afraid so much anymore.
Someone is asking if you could put the reference photo where they could see it again.
Okay. Let's see, maybe I have to zoom out again. Yeah. Well, I can put that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe on the side there.
I'm going to have to.
Over just, yeah, that's good. And then you can still.
Can you still see it?
Yeah.
Oops.
And you got a blob down there to the right.
Oh, thank you.
Paper towels to the rescue.
Yeah.
Do you own stock in Bounty yet?
Bounty towels? No, I still haven't written to them. I should. I really should.
Yeah, maybe they would sponsor you or
I
something.
know. Maybe I could get some for free. I don't know whether I need to go around the whole thing. I don't like
That
that.
just gives everybody an idea of what you would do.
Yeah, it's smushing and trying to, it's not exactly, the thing is that I don't want to make it look exactly like the person. When I draw, I've done portrait work for what, 40 years?
Right.
30 years. And I'm tired of it, to be real honest. I want to paint people, or want to make them however I want to make them. I don't want to do commissions so much. That's me. But I'd rather paint and teach. I'd rather teach and then let it happen, if that makes sense. I mean, I have to do portrait work eventually, maybe when I get older. I don't know. But right now I'm enjoying just teaching. And the feeling of light coming across is really what I was after. I'm not sure that everything needs a background. This is fine. I can probably, oh, I know. Well, I see a little bit of that bottom part there, and then maybe a little bit here. That's my guess on that. I don't want her under her eyes to get too dark either. Let's see. I could go on and descriptive, I guess, but no, I don't like that blue under here. Maybe I better fix that. Oh, I know, the white pencil. Sorry. This is so cool. Now I'm just taking a white pencil that I stole it from Steve. It's a Caran d'Ache white pencil. And then I'm just wetting it a little bit. And I'm going to try to put that, go in closer. You can see
perfect. So this is something new you're doing. I haven't seen you use the white pencil before.
Yep.
Perfect.
The same area, don't go into the pupil too much. I know that students do that sometimes. They go into the pencil too much. As I'm, let me look here. Maybe just get a little more. I mean, there's more you could do if you want to get, go on and on and on, but then you're getting into, I've done that. I've done more and more and more, and then all of a sudden you lose it.
I agree. You can overwork that really easily.
Yeah, very easily. So I just noticed that thing I put down there, and I thought that's sinking in and it doesn't look right. I think I've said enough. There's more I could say over here probably, and I might do a little more, but I'm afraid to. So I should probably show some of my other work.
Yes. I vote for leaving it alone before you mess it up.
Yeah, that's what I think. Let it dry and then you can go visit. Let me go this out. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I think I captured the innocence that I wanted. Let me show you some other paintings that I've done. This sounded way.
Julie Wallner wants to say that she loves painting with you. She remembers the Landgrove Inn and painting with you in Vermont. Thank you.
Oh, well, I just got back from Vermont. It was wonderful.
I'm sure it was.
Oh my gosh, it's just the best. And I'll look for every year I'm there. This is a painting I did of some iris, just a quick gestural painting. And this is a painting I did of iris. I mean, orchids. Sorry.
Orchids.
Different colors, orchids. And you can see if you can see how it does change the painting a little bit if it's flat or if it's at an angle. I just started doing these. This was in Tuscany. I did this painting and I was so bored with it. I came in and just threw some other colors in there and it made it more abstract. So that was the beginning of abstract painting. And then this was another one I did just playing around. Just
love the colors.
Landscape thing and abstract landscape. And this was a painting I did last week at Landgrove.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I kind of threw the blue in and I didn't expect that to see it. So I took advantage of that and just left it there. She had a very high forehead. So, and this was one I did in France one time.
Aww.
A little boy. This was a little girl that is one of my favorites.
Aww.
These are out of order, I guess, but this was a quick hydrangea. I don't know that it's finished, but it's the color's good. And this was, do you think you were the
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I saw you paint that. Yeah.
The waiter.
He was a Frenchman, right?
Yes, and he was a waiter. He waited on us at the castle with the man bun.
Oh, yeah. I knew. Yeah, I remember.
And do you have his picture?
I do.
Okay. And this was a little girl I did just as a demo, and I thought, gotta finish it. Let's see. Here's another one more, and that was a girl I did.
We know that girl. Yeah, you've painted her before.
Seen that one. Okay.
Well, those are wonderful, Janet. Thank you so much for doing this demo for us. We had a lot of people on tonight. And Ron said the other day, one of your YouTube videos that you did, that's now on YouTube, that you did for us is like hit, I don't know how many views, but an extraordinary amount.
Oh.
And we just really appreciate you doing this for us. I know, and being, you and Steve have been a part of Florida Watercolor for a long time, and he's getting his distinguished signature this year, and I imagine you are too.
Well, I think I've been in almost every year since I've been.
Yeah. But Steve is like the #1 person, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I think he is.
Being in our shows 39 times. So we appreciate that.
39 times?
39 times. So what did he say?
He said more than that.
Okay, more than that. You're the boss.
Yeah.
But thanks to everybody who came tonight. Let's see, there's a couple more
Yeah,
questions on here.
we can kind of take some more questions.
Where in Vermont do you give the workshop?
Oh, Landgrave Inn.
Yeah.
Landgrave
And
Inn.
they can find out more about that on your website for next year.
Yeah, I don't have my 24 schedule out yet, but I'm going to be teaching Santa Fe. Well, there's a long list. Landgrove, up in Connecticut, a couple in the Florida, the villages. Let's see, but not portraits so much. It's other things. And
that's just at the villages. You're going to do other things.
Yeah, villages would be flowers, landscape, and architecture stuff. And let's see, maybe some quick figures or something.
Sure.
And of the casements, obviously, that's in.
Oh, I love the casements.
And I limit it to 6 or 7 people. That's it.
Yeah.
And
you do that for 3 weeks. Are you going to do 3 weeks again at the casements in Norman Beach?
It's supposed to be on the something watercolor live or something.
Oh, okay. And you're going to be on Watercolor Live?
Yeah. And
cool.
So I'm part of the faculty or something there, but I don't know what that involves. So I'm taking a week off while that's on.
Okay.
Between those casement things. And I'm going to be down in Jupiter. Jupiter, Florida. I have a workshop there. Ocean City, Maryland. It's getting, it's quite extensive, but I won't have that schedule up till maybe this week or next week or
sometime soon. Let's see. Dina Shepard says absolutely beautiful work and wonderful instruction too. Thank you. Thanks. Svetlana Shori says beautiful child and amazing painting. Thank you so much, Janet. Marilyn Liebman says thank you, Janet. Loved your demo. Learned so much. And then Anna Maria Castelgrande says thank you. Great demo. Love your work.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Nice comments from everybody. I wanted to say too, thank you to everybody for coming tonight, and just a few things to remember to get registered for convention. It's coming up soon at the end of September. It opens Thursday night, September 28th with Andy Evenson's demo. And if you weren't lucky enough to get a spot in Andy's workshop, we still have a couple of openings in Failing Lynn's next week. And also in Kathy Durden's and Teresa Kirk's workshops. And we need volunteers. We especially need an AV volunteer to help Ron Malone out with all of our AV needs during convention, because we are recording everything now. So even if you can't make it to convention, remember that we will have recordings up after for those of you who are not physically able to be there this year. So that's a big benefit to everyone. So thank you. Thank you again. And I'll let you guys get some dinner or rest for the evening.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm surprised I'm this far along.
That's a gorgeous portrait. You should be very proud of that.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Jackie. I appreciate it. And thank you for all you do for Florida Watercolor and all the volunteers. And Ron, thank you for producing all this and helping to do all this. And we will see everybody at the convention.
Thank you. It's our great pleasure. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Good evening.